Today we're going to be talking about the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus and why this microphone may be the best $300 you can spend for your outdoor video productions.
Just made it to Dream. It is extremely windy to an intense degree. Woo! You probably can't hear anything I'm saying, but maybe that windscreen's doing its job. We'll see.
The Rode VideoMic Pro Plus is currently one of the high-end Rode video mic offerings, if you will, for their shotgun mic series. I believe the Rode NTG technically is placed above this microphone. Unfortunately, I've not gotten a chance to use that one, but I have gotten a chance to use a number of the lower end microphones in Rode's lineup, and we're gonna be talking about why I think that this is definitely worth the money over those other offerings later in the video here. But I just want to give a glossary overview of kind of what I need out of a video mic and what I think a lot of people trying to shoot outdoor run and gun vlogs and corporate work, outdoors, etc. So there are some unique challenges for the shotgun microphone that I choose to use, particularly for the outdoor vlogs we shoot, out shooting photos like the one you can see behind me here, this triptych we just got added in. You should definitely check out that video. I will link that at the end. We just got this new, it's Capital. This was a shot from last fall. And a few years ago, I was really interested in starting to record adventure vlogs of our trips out getting photos like the one behind me here. And, you know, obviously you need to be recording audio, and everyone knows that the internal microphones on cameras are how do you say, not amazing? I found this video kit that came with a G85 and along with a Rode VideoMic Go. So the Rode VideoMic Go, I didn't really know a ton about microphones at the time or really anything like that. It just looked like something Casey Neistat would use. So I was like, okay, I mean, that should be amazing, way OP for what I need, and I broke it on the second time we took it out. Now, and my microphone broke, which is spectacular. In my experience, this microphone sounds okay, and we'll actually do a test with it here in a second here in the gallery, and I think I have some field audio as well.
It's a little cold, but it's not that bad, you know? It's I think it looks colder than it actually is.
I'll definitely cut that in here if I do still have access to that footage. But I learned a number of things from this microphone. First and foremost, that this microphone's not that great, and I cannot recommend the Rode VideoMic Go to anyone because it's just not built very well, to be honest with you. This shock mount is just too loose, and I'll show a close-up of this, but the plastic just breaks right here, and there's really no way to fix that. You know, the shock mount is literally built into the microphone in a way that I don't really know if it would even be possible to replace the shock mount, which is frustrating. But I also learned that windscreens are absolutely required. Hopefully I have some audio from a little segment we were hiking out there, and yeah, you can't understand a word I was saying at that point. So you definitely need a dead cat on your microphone. But here, it's still taped on here. All right, my levels are currently set for the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, and this microphone is so much less sensitive that at the setting that is proper for this microphone right here, you literally is not registering any audio. So this is this microphone at the settings that I use for the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, and I don't know if you can hear anything from it or not. Here, let's see. We're turning it up, turning it up, turning it up. I bet you that's good. All right, so I turned the mic levels up to halfway up, so way higher than they are with the Pro Plus. And I don't know, this is a test of the Rode VideoMic Go. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have the shock mount. I wonder if you can hear me like shaking the camera or not. I don't know if you can hear that. But anyway, there's a testing of what that sounds like in the somewhat controlled environment. Like I said, hopefully I'm able to find that footage. It's been years, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna be able to locate footage in the field with this microphone or not. But after breaking this microphone here, I had to kind of go back to the drawing board and figure out, okay, well, what kind of microphone do I need? And you know, I kind of thought to myself, well, the Rode Video Micro looks pretty interesting. So this is the Rode Video Micro. It has a dead cat. It actually comes with a dead cat, which is really cool. This does not come with one. It's not a good deal. So I looked at this microphone and I was like, well, I mean, that makes sense. And as you can tell, it's taped together as well. And yes, because I broke this one too. But you know, this microphone is a lot better than this one. If you have to buy a cheap Rode microphone, which I don't think you should, this one's pretty good. Yeah, but it's just the mounts on these are just not built for heavy use. I mean, and granted, when I say heavy use, I'm not really being nice to these microphones. I'm using the Peak Design capture clip and hiking around for hours, and the microphone's just sitting on the end, just going like this all day, and eventually that does wear down a shock mount. Here, let's get this thing mounted on here. And while I'm doing that, I do kind of want to talk a little bit about something that I think can really happen to people when they're getting into video work, and that is neglecting audio. Audio is one of those things that's kind of frustrating to spend money on. You know, it's not as flashy as a camera that can shoot 120p in 4K or something like that. It's just, and I find that a lot of people don't really invest in their audio very much. People that have been shooting for years and years are using these, which, by the way, these actually sound pretty good. I'm being a little hard on the Rode Video Micro. I know other people have used this microphone and have gotten much better results, but I swear I just start running around with this microphone and the windscreen's falling off and all kinds of stuff. We'll get this in-house thing here. This is a test with the Rode Video Micro. It requires the same settings as the Rode VideoMic Go. So while it may be a little different, there's actually a DSLR video shooter video that's really cool, where he tests all of these in depth, and I definitely recommend checking that out if you're gonna buy one of these, but I probably wouldn't buy one of these. Anyway, I think that a lot of people do struggle with neglecting their audio, just not having a good audio setup. And I actually find that it's really useful to, kind of like lenses, have different microphones for different situations. So here at Summit Bid, we use the Rode Wireless Go's, and I love the Rode Wireless Go's. They're amazing. They're the only wireless lav mic system that I've used that are rock solid. Right now I'm using the Rode Wireless Go, as actually Kemper's newer one, but I've been using mine for like 2 years. And you know, those do have kind of the disadvantage of only one receiver, but you can get around that by owning 2 of them, which we do. But you know, you don't necessarily want to use that. That's like a $200 tool. You don't necessarily want to use that for vlogging because you're not being able to capture the ambient audio very well. You can really only capture your voice in that kind of situation, and you have this thing tied onto you with a battery you have to worry about, etc., etc., etc. And I definitely feel like it's something that people struggle with. And I know that that was me early on when I was interested in video. I saw the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus was launched and it was $300, and I just could not imagine spending money on that. I mean, it just felt like I had used like a $30 Takstar mic that I thought sounded pretty good, and I felt like it was completely redundant to buy a microphone like this, kind of a rip-off, if you will. But I can really tell you that there are some features on this that are just so easily overlookable that really make it an incredible tool. And those tools include the incredibly robust shock mount on this thing. I have hiked probably hundreds of miles with this thing mounted to the capture clip like this, hanging out there, being brushed up against tree branches and all kinds of stuff. And this thing, besides a little bit of a bend, it is slightly bent, but you know, what are you gonna expect? I've been using this thing like crazy, and the shock mount is still nice and stiff, and really there's not a mark to be seen on this thing despite all of the use that I've put it through. That's valuable. This mic also has some onboard controls, some frequency controls, as well as a +20 and -20 dB switch. Those are actually really useful. Outdoors, oftentimes you're shooting some really subtle sounds, birds chirping, a breeze, maybe a stream that's you're not right up next to. And you want to boost that audio to reach out and grab those sounds. Or potentially you want to lower the levels on your camera itself so that you're not getting a lot of noise, and the +20 dB setting allows you to do that. The -10 dB setting I have found works amazing for filtering out really bad wind noise. I probably at the beginning of this video showcased a clip of me out hiking at Dream Lake in like 30-40 mile-an-hour winds, and you can hear my voice. My voice is actually louder than the wind, and that's a remarkable thing that you're able to get out of a tool like this. You get that onboard control without having to dive into the menus. Just a general gripe of mine is that most camera companies actually have your audio levels, setting your audio levels kind of buried, which is kind of frustrating when you need to change them on the fly. That's one of the little quirks of shooting with stills hybrid bodies. But all of these features come together to make just a solid tool that is going to serve you well in the high country. And I really feel like that was maybe one of the biggest mistakes that I made early on when I was trying to figure out how to shoot high quality footage in the high country, was just not wanting to cough up that cash for a slightly better microphone. It's a tricky deal because I realize that a lot of us are working with really limited budgets. Would highly recommend looking into TOBY'S microphones. I have not gotten a chance to use those, but I have heard that they work extremely well and can come in a bit cheaper than the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. I have also used the Takstar microphone. I passingly mentioned it earlier in the video, and I have found that that is a rock solid microphone option. It's $30. The main downside to that microphone is you have to turn it off and on every time you shoot a clip, or you have to leave it on for a shoot day and remember to turn it off so the batteries don't die overnight. It can lead you to situations where you just don't have audio, which is really frustrating. Potentially the nicest feature of the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus is that when you turn your camera on, the microphone turns on. It's an amazing little detail that's just, it's magic. You get a powered microphone that is able to boost your audio and mess with the frequencies, get all the benefits of that while also getting the benefit of the microphones on when you turn your camera on. It's a beautiful feature. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I left the settings on this microphone the same as the other two mics. Let me fix that. So this has been a review of the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. I hope that you learned something, and you maybe are going to be taking your audio a little bit more seriously for your video projects in the future. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give us a like. If you are interested to see content like this in the future, you can definitely give us a subscribe as well. That would be awesome. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.